Hi, I'm Mel Greenberg.
And I'm Karen Glasser, and welcome to Uncorked.
You're thinking about it.
And we're talking about it, so stay tuned.
Uncorked Live with Karen Glasser and Mel Greenberg, making the most of life's peak stage and sharing it all with you.
Hey, Mel.
Hey, Karen.
Oh my gosh, it's November. How did that happen?
I don't know. I feel like I just blinked and September's gone. There's, a couple games left in the football season. That's kind of how I judge my fall and or college season. And it blows my mind.
Yeah.
And it blows up a lot of other things in my life because anxiety starts to roll in.
Yep.
And our big question is during this time, during any time, what do we do to take care of ourselves?
And absolutely. But I take care of myself by drinking. I'm kidding. I don't really drink that much, but what are we drinking today?
But today we are,
Yes.
and I brought you a white Italian La Scolca, and let me know what you think. It's a dryer, so I think you'll like it.
I think I'll like it. So cheers.
Sure.
Oh, this is actually quite good.
You like it?
Yeah, I know
Good.
I drink white wine, but it's dry.
I
It
know.
doesn't taste like Manischewitz, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Okay, that's a really good thing.
So we've been saying a lot of different things, but we're talking about well-being today or being well. So let's kind of deep dive that. What does it mean?
Well, I think we have a really good example. Can we
Yes,
share what happened this
absolutely,
morning? Because I
absolutely.
was in the kitchen having coffee, getting ready for what I thought was going to be a really exciting morning that I was really looking forward to doing with my friend Karen. And out she walks.
Yeah, and I said, and so we were going to go. Let's talk about what we were going to do.
Okay, so I've been coming to the desert since I was too young to remember. I'd never been to Sunnylands. And for whatever reason, it got the bug in my bee in my bonnet to do it. And I went on the website and I thought we would just go walk the grounds.
Right.
And they have yoga open to the public on Friday mornings at 10 o'clock. So, and it was all levels. There was no stress because you don't really do yoga. So I knew you would be comfortable. We had a plan. We were going to go.
Yes, we did.
And then we didn't.
Gosh. And I woke up at whatever god awful hour I woke up at, and I laid in bed thinking I have too much to do and I don't think I'm going to have time to go and do yoga. But then it was one side versus the other side, the angel and the devil. One side saying, you got to go. You're going to disappoint Mel. You're going to disappoint yourself. It's part of what we're going to talk about. I mean, all sorts of things. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to tuck it up and go. And then I said, you know what? I don't think so, because I'm going to pay for that on the other side, not feeling comfortable getting my stuff done. So I just said to myself, I'm not going to go. I'm going to take care of myself. And I got myself out of the bedroom. I walked into the kitchen and I just kind of said, I'm not going to go today. I'm not going to go with you today, but I think you should go, because I knew how much you enjoy yoga.
Which was really wonderful and so kind of you to do it the way you did, because immediately when you said, I just can't do this today, I already went into okay, that's cool. I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay here. We're going to we'll find other things to do. I'll relax while you do. I was making excuses as well. However, I sat down, I stepped away, you went in the room, and I thought, I really wanted to go. And I really wrestled with myself. Am I a selfish bitch?
Yes, you are. I'm kidding. You are
in this moment, if I do, because it was something we were going to do together. And I just, you really, expectations are just not good.
Not good.
For anybody on any level. And I was worried I was going to let you down if I went. And were you really being honest? Did you really want me to go? And then you just kind of play that game.
Your head started
talking. And it's just like, will you shut hell up?
Itty bitty shitty committee.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
So I did go.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the most fabulous morning. It was exactly what I needed. You got exactly what you needed. Yes. And as friends, we got exactly what our friendship needed,
right,
to move through our day and take care of ourselves. So that to me epitomizes well-being.
You know what? Because I felt comfortable after the end of the day to say to you, and I knew that you weren't going to be upset with me. I really was able to process the whole thing. And I think that that's a very healthy way to be, is really know that you have a good friendship and that you really know that the other person is going to be okay with you taking care of yourself. And you were. And that I was really grateful for, because at this time of the year, it's holiday time and everything seems more exaggerated. Everything seems more stressful.
Piles on.
Oh.
I started loading my calendar with, and we talk about, I have a very active
Yes, you do.
life between our companies and social life and friends and doing things and the holidays. I love it all. I love having
Yeah.
gatherings in my home. I love all the planning I do out of that. But I looked at the calendar and the frenetic energy starts to build, and it starts in my stomach, and then it oozes out everywhere else. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And it's not even Thanksgiving yet. We haven't even really gotten into the worst of it.
Christmas music has been playing in the stores since early October.
Okay, well, this is ridiculous. And I'm gonna, I went in October, got some Halloween things. Went back literally maybe 2 days after Halloween. I thought, this is great. I'll get some, and I was at Home Goods. Get some things for Thanksgiving. We have guests coming into town. I walked in, and somehow between October 29th or whenever I was there and the 1st of December, November, it became Christmas. Like all of the fall thing, everything fall related, including Thanksgiving, was on the discount sale table. The entire store was Christmas. And I just stood there and I shook my head.
A song's coming on. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Why?
I know everything is sooner and sooner. And I mean, part of me gets it. Like I want to drag it out. Like I start putting up holiday decorations, the winter and everything, the minute things before Thanksgiving, really, especially for having visitors.
And it's too much. I don't like the holidays. I'm an introvert, and it's not a secret. I talk about my anxiety. I have anxiety when I'm in humongous crowds, and I just don't like doing that, even though I have to suck it up and do it sometimes. And so I would just want to stay home and not go anywhere. Because when you look on social media and you look on television, everywhere around you, everyone seems to have that perfect life.
Well, don't you think that's part of one of the components of this issue with well-being and taking care of ourselves, that we strive to be like what we think we need to be like, and so much of that is in our face now. Social media has exacerbated the problem, but it's always been there. We've always felt, it's keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly, keeping up.
And I don't need to be the Griswolds with the lights, but I want my house perfect. I want everything. Yeah. And now I'll scroll Instagram, and I'm so guilty of this, and I know better, but you kind of can't help it. And I look, and there's these beautiful images, and then you see, and it's this 30-something-year-old woman with 4 kids under the age of 6, and the baking is perfect, the clothes are perfect. It's like, oh my God, how did she do that? And she's posting, so she's shooting it all, and then you start to beat yourself up. No,
you think it's an age thing?
I don't think so.
No,
I really don't. I think what I do think is an age thing, and I think it's great, is that I'm more capable now of stepping back and saying, that's great that she can do that. I don't give a shit.
No is a beautiful word.
It's a beautiful word. I would like to say it more. I can say it, but then I question myself. Like when I said, when you weren't going to go, and then I said, well, I'm going to go. And then I thought, did I do the right thing? Is this good? So it's that second guessing little voice.
And you weigh, if you do it or versus you don't do it. I have grown to love the word no. I've grown to love to be able to say, if somebody asks and I say no, it's like, I can breathe. I didn't lock myself into something that I knew I really didn't have. That absolutely agree. So we've talked about well-being, in our head, and maybe where we feel about, the anxiety, feeling it during the stress of the holidays, but it's also our entire body, right?
Well, and actually that kind of speaks to his theories that the body is so vital, and working out and yoga.
Right.
And that was kind of why I wanted to do the yoga. I haven't practiced in the past few weeks because I hurt my shoulder. And it was a great way to get back, because it was a really different kind of class and experience. But one thing, the working out and the programs that I do with Elaine, Core Strength 50, our season 2 sponsor, have been life altering for me.
Right.
I look forward to the 20 minutes. It's not going to a gym. I do it at my home. I escape, and I really become present in those 20 minutes. And I can't say enough. If you haven't checked that out, please do. In fact, you can meet her right now. We'll be right back.
Your exercise time is only part of what it takes to make your body strong, lean, and flexible in your 50s. My challenging 20-minute workouts and whole body holistic approach will give you success. I'm a 57-year-old master personal trainer, and I designed these programs for women like us over 50. You can change your body at any age. CoreStrength50plus.com.
It is. She's great. I love her. They're virtual. She's actually located in Bali. And in 20 minutes a day, I've changed how I feel physically and look physically. I'm happier in my clothes and my body.
And you look hot. You look hot.
Okay. Right now, I don't feel that, but okay.
I'm feeling a little hot. Okay.
I know, that's called menopause.
So we want to talk a little bit about our travel plans because we have some really fun things that are coming up. Next year, we're going to take a trip.
Road trip.
A road trip. And we're going to let you guys follow along with us. We're going to be going up the coast. And, sounds better. Thank you so much, Alicia. Appreciate that. And thank you. I'm just going to put that up there because thank you. I appreciate that. But we're going to be doing a trip together.
We are.
And we're going up north.
And we're going to start here and then head over to LA, Santa Barbara, Carmel, and we're going to end in Napa. Well, we're going on a road trip.
We're going on a
country
road
song
trip
in the making.
Yes, and we are going to visit some of my favorite wineries and the vineyards and some of my favorite restaurants.
So Karen lived in Napa.
I lived in Napa for many years.
She's cultivated incredible relationships there. And that's giving us also kind of an insider's view and experience that we will eventually share with you.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
I know. And when we started talking about, because I'm so excited about this, when we started talking about this, all I could picture was Lucy and Ethel crushing grapes. And we're going to do that. I want to crush grapes.
And there's a place in Napa that will allow us to crush grapes. So we're going to go do that.
We will do that.
Cannot wait. We're going to move into the barrel list. We're launching something called the barrel list. Why are we calling it the barrel list?
Because we all have, the bucket list. Right. That's sort of an end of life. I wish I had, or I want to do before. Right. And the bucket list the barrel list is more our list of really special things that either we've come across or that you share with us that help you. All these topics that we pick every month, we hope resonate with you. And they're related to that. And one thing is what we're reading. And this month,
what are you reading?
To that end, I am reading Stillness is the Key. And I saw it in my friend's husband's office. He's a D1 football coach, and I can't fathom right now, maybe a politician, but a more stressful job than that.
Right.
And he embraces all of this. So I said, I got to read this. And it's Ryan Holiday, Stillness is the Key. You'll find it on Amazon, and we have links to it. It's beautiful.
I can't wait. I'm going to read it after you read it.
Okay. Yeah.
What else are you reading?
Gaining it right now. Last month I talked about the Rosie trilogy, and I was bound and determined to finish the second book, The Rosie Effect. No, gone. Yeah. 2/3 of the way. I just can't get it. And I would love if someone did read it and loved it to tell me maybe I missed something, because I loved the first one, as you know, so much. So I just said, not now, I'm done, and let it go. And I'm reading The Mutual Friend, because actually Carter Bays was the co-creator of one of my favorite series of all time, How I Met Your Mother. So it's beautifully written, and the characters are great. So I'm loving it.
Mel, the message is if you start reading a book, nobody's like beating you over the head that you have to finish it. So, if you don't like something, you can stop.
I know, but so I think of that, and I know that, my head knows that, but I go to my favorite book of all time is The Secret Book of Grazia de Rossi. It's over 600 pages long. It took me over 100 pages to get into it. And at any moment during those 100 pages, I was like, I'm putting it down. But my son put it in perspective, because 600 plus pages, 100 pages is really not that much. Right. So I never really want to give up. I think it'll get to a point where it will be that special book. And sometimes, it's just not. It's okay to let it go and move on to something else.
Another segment that we're launching this time is an author interview, and every month we're going to do an author interview that we have done in the past that we will bring to today, and today is no exception. Okay, it's fading out, so I'm just going to go like that. I'm not going to do anything. It's called Living Well: 99 Stories from the Mikvah. I had the opportunity, which is really cool, to interview my sister.
In Israel.
In Israel. It was 4:00 in the morning for me, and it was not 4:00 in her. It was like late at night for her. And the two of us got on a Zoom, and we recorded an interview because she's a first-time published author. And I thought
an integral part of that happening.
yeah, well, I did, but and so I interviewed her, and I'd like you to tune into it right now because I think you're going to enjoy it. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Karen Glasser here, and I'm really excited about what we're about to do. I'd like to introduce you to my sister and author, Lori Cooper. How are you, Lori?
I'm doing great, Karen.
We're going to be talking about your book and what it's like to be a published author. The book is called Living Well: 99 Stories from the Mikvah. So the first question I want to ask you is, Lori, what the heck is a mikvah?
Well, most people don't know what a mikveh is, but it's a Jewish ritual bath that is comprised of rainwater, and it's used during times of transition, moments of transition and transformation. Those are the moments that we grow on. Those are the points we grow on. So that's when it's used.
So what inspired you to write this book? Now, of course, I know some of the answers to this because you're my sister, and you actually is built the right word. You built a mikvah in Philadelphia, and people come from far and wide to come to the mikvah for healing and for conversion and for all sorts of different things. So this is all about stories, and this is kind of why I like this so much, is that you literally took 99 stories from the individuals that came into the mikvah, and you tell their story in this book. Did that change your life? I'm just curious. Did that change how you look at life when you started hearing the stories from your visitors?
We built the mikvah in 2002, and we built it, as I said earlier, so that all Jews would have a place to go during times of transition, transformation, during times of change, during times of healing. People also come for traditional purposes. People come before the holidays, before the Sabbath, and of course, women come around their cycles. Well, what happened is I started journaling, and I started writing down some of the stories that came through, the people that came through the door. Anonymously, I wrote it down, and I got some critiques. So people would see the journal and they'd say, you maybe should be writing a book, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. And then finally, I was inspired by the stories, and I felt that these stories needed to be shared. But let me just say, the book wasn't the goal.
Interesting.
The goal was to share the stories with others. I thought, how can I be the receptacle of all these stories? I needed to let them be free. So that's why I wrote the book.
And do you feel like you accomplished that? Did you accomplish that?
I did.
You think?
I accomplished that, and I also, the gift in all of this, I think, is that I think I became a better listener. And that's what I've learned from writing these stories, that if I just listen a little more closely to what's being said and what is not being said, then there is a story there.
The whole idea of publishing a book, though, I know made you nauseous. I mean, you just was like, ugh, why am I doing this? Do you think it was because would it have been easier if you were younger? Do you think it was an age thing, or just the idea of publishing a book? It's out of your skill set. What exactly was the challenge? Just curious.
I was overwhelmed by the thought, and because we discussed it many times. It would not have been easier. I was raising a family. I was the rabbi's wife of a large congregation. I had a lot of responsibilities, including the mikveh. It was easier because I was older. I felt like I could do more. I was capable of doing more.
Love that.
And the ironic thing is that I finished the book when I was in Israel. So here we are. You're interviewing me in my new home, and I miss the mikveh. I'm looking forward to coming back to the mikveh, not necessarily to do any administrative duties, but to be there and to witness and to listen to more stories.
Right. Has your life changed, you think, from writing this book? I know you now speak. I know you do speaking engagements. You do them both remote as well as live. Has your life changed? Did you do that before? Or is this just something that has continued in your work?
No, I never spoke publicly. I always was nervous about it and stayed away from that. I didn't do that until there was a period in my life when a difficult period in my life when I dealt with mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like at that point I needed to speak out. And one way I healed from the mental health issues is I started working at the mikveh and running the mikveh. And by reaching out and holding another person's hand, that strengthened me, and I assume strengthened them. And that's how
powerful.
it happened.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. Is this the first of many books? Are you going to do more?
I don't think so, Karen.
Not even a second part? If you go, you said you're going to be going back and you can't wait to go back. Maybe you're going to hear some more stories, or maybe it's different stories because you're in Israel now. Who knows?
I probably have another 30 entries in my journal, 30 news stories. So
you heard it here first.
I might write another number 2.
Number 2.
Book number 2.
So, Lori, where can people pick up your book? I know it's where all books are sold, but they can pick it up on Amazon, right?
They can just go on to Amazon, look up, go into the book section, look up Living Well, 99 Stories from the Mikveh, and it will pop up. And let me know if you like it.
Thank you for joining us. Any last thoughts you want to share?
Keep listening, keep your heart open, and have a wonderful day.
Karen, 2 things came to me that was so moving. First, that's your sister, and it was just beautiful to see that relationship that you have. When she spoke about the mikveh and the healing, and I feel like we're kind of in this point right now of a collective need for healing.
Right.
And then what really touched me was how she felt it's something that she did lifted another person up.
Yeah.
And I think that is maybe the message here.
Right.
In terms of taking care of yourself and helping and healing
Yes.
and working together, that we don't have to fucking do this alone. Sorry. We don't have to do life and this journey alone. We are there for each other, and we can, and it makes I'm not so good and I feel okay.
Right.
A little bit easier and a little bit better.
It really was cool having this conversation with her because, yes, even though I was aware of some of the struggles, I learned something in the conversation. I love interviewing, as you know. And one of the reasons is that even though I think I know everything about someone because I do my research, I always learn something. I get that nugget. And I was just so thrilled to be able to. This was the first time she'd ever been interviewed. So I was.
You wouldn't know that. She did great.
Yeah, she did awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her. Lori, I love you. You did such a great job. Thank you for trusting me to do this.
And to shepherd your story.
Totally appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we love music, both of us.
Okay. So I'm not even, my feet are still off the ground because the boss released his new album last night and it's already on our playlist, every song. Only the Strong Survive. It's his kind of homage to the greatest soul songs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, amazing.
And his beautiful voice. I mean, and again, I talked about Bonnie Raitt last show. This guy's in his 70s. He is the boss.
He's the boss.
I worship him. But his voice is so beautiful. And he brought everything in the instrumentals, the arrangements. It's just.
It's you
God.
played a song. It was amazing. You can listen to that and so much more on the Uncork playlist .online. You can get both of those, all of those songs. I am still totally into Teddy Swims. I love that guy. His voice is amazing. He's done some amazing duets. Even
Megan Trainor.
yeah, Megan Trainor. Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. Music is I love music.
Okay.
So that's all.
I kind of like it
We
too.
would just kind of leave it there. So if you are tuning in because you want to know who the winner was for our wine
Oh, our
killers,
chillers. So we gifted
two of these,
a set
a set
of the
a set of these,
wine chillers.
and we had like over 100 entries. So
Which
first
we were
of all,
really excited
thank you,
about.
thank you. We really appreciate that. But we do have a winner, so we have to do a drum roll because I'm going to announce the winner right now, and the winner is Alicia Thompson. Alicia Thompson, come on down. I am so thrilled. Alicia, make sure you DM me and give us your address, and we're going to send off 2 of these chillers and take a picture, and we'll show you holding the chillers.
Yes,
and,
we will. And we'll share it next.
and
next
share. So it's time to wrap up. Oh
I
my
know.
gosh,
Can you
wow.
believe it's already gone? But for me, the takeaway is that in this time when we're so hard on ourselves, and I have such anxiety because from again September to January 1st, favorite time of year, I started filling the calendar last week, and my stomach and my heart rates rose, and I was like, "Good God! Every 5 minutes there's something, and the parties, and the planning, and the this and the that." And I stepped back, and I'm like, "Okay, it will happen." And that's where like anxiety, you start thinking, you forecast into the future. You worry about how am I going to do this, and if you just step back and go, "This is what's happening."
Take
So
a
I
breath.
just made myself breathe and slow down, and just. It sounds so trite at this point to say be present, but it really makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. The breathing makes a huge difference. I suffer from anxiety, you know that. And when you suffer from anxiety, you look for all those different things that you can do to soothe yourself and to be better. This wasn't actually part of the show, but Mel Robbins did a whole thing on anxiety. Dr. Russell Kennedy talks about anxiety, which I thought I was fascinated by.
That's
most of us
great
think that
episode.
anxiety's from the neck up. You know, you think your head just keeps talking and talking and talking. He says, no, anxiety's from the neck down. And he says, it's where you feel it. And I went, that was an aha moment for me. I literally went, oh, right,
Same.
because I feel my anxiety right here. And in fact, what he talks about is you literally you touch the place that you're feeling it. And it was like a game changer.
You know what was so bizarre? I was listening to that podcast on my way driving here, and I'm listening to him talk about that.
Yeah.
And I think about when I'm starting to get nervous or having, worry. And I put my hand on my heart.
Right.
And that's where it impacts me.
And,
so you do feel it.
You do feel it. Some people feel it in their gut, and some people feel it, their whole body just, does. And maybe you do feel it in your head. Maybe you do. But I think
to the extent that you think about it, you start thinking about everything. And that was what, projecting into the future, what all the things that I have to do with that. God, it comes back to disappointment.
Yeah.
I have all these things to do. What if I don't measure up?
Right.
What if I'm not that Instagrammable moment?
Right. And that's what I felt this morning. It was like, if I say to Mel, I'm not going to yoga.
And you were worried about
I was worried that you would be disappointed or whatever. And but sometimes you have to just do what's good for you. And
you say no. Just say no.
Say no. Just say no.
It's a beautiful word.
We hope that you enjoyed tonight with all the bumps and everything. This is the first time, as Mel said, using a green screen, and we're having some fun. I'm going to say, got some comments here. Alicia says, I hear ya. On the anxiety, ladies, I have anxiety also. And I think it's really powerful to be able to say that out loud. I think we have been told by media and everyone else that you should hide any kind of mental health situations that are going on. And I think this is healthy to be able to say it out loud and say, I'm not okay all the time.
I'm not okay.
It's okay.
We started
okay.
This is great. And we want to do that. We want to portray that everything's great. I've got this. I can handle all these things, but it's okay to say, maybe not so much.
Maybe not so much.
And in the long run, you're going to be and feel so much better.
Exactly.
I hope so. I think that you know yourself, and that if you truly listen and follow the
Right.
heart and what you're feeling,
It's all going to be okay.
mhm,
It's all going to be okay.
it's all gonna be okay. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for putting up with all our Michigans.
Because you have a choice, and it's a Friday night. We changed the date this time, and normally we're on Tuesday night, and we will go back to Tuesday night in December. The
Something
second
was
Tuesday.
happening earlier.
Something
Was
happened at the beginning of the week.
Elections?
Election, something.
Maybe?
And so we decided that we wanted to literally be able to do this without people having other things on
Yes.
their mind. So that's why we did it tonight. So we want to thank you for joining us today, because you do have a choice as to where you spend your time. Go out and give somebody an awesome day. And we're going to see you next month.
Ciao.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to.